Leo had just moved into his new apartment in Newark. It was a simple one-bedroom unit with old wooden floors and a massive bathroom mirror that stretched across the entire wall. The landlord said the previous tenant left it behind, but Leo didn't think much of it. It started with small things. One night, while brushing his teeth, he noticed his reflection lagging for just a split second. He laughed it off. Maybe he was just tired. But as the days went on, the delay became more noticeable. One evening, after a long shift at work, he stood in front of the mirror, rubbing his tired eyes. When he lowered his hands, his reflection hadn't moved yet. It just stood there, staring at him. Leo stumbled backward. He blinked hard, and when he opened his eyes, the reflection moved normally again. Maybe I'm just exhausted, he thought. But the next night, things got worse. While washing his hands, he deliberately looked down at the sink, keeping his head still. In his peripheral vision, he saw movement. His reflection had tilted its head, but he hadn't. A cold shiver ran down his spine. Testing a theory, Leo lifted his left arm. His reflection did the same. Then he moved his right arm, but this time, his reflection hesitated before copying. It was as if it was thinking about it. Leo shut off the light and left the bathroom. He barely slept that night. The next day, he decided to record himself. He set up his phone and stood in front of the mirror, performing simple movements. When he played the footage back, his blood ran cold. There was a moment, just a fraction of a second, where his reflection moved before he did. That's impossible. Terrified, Leo threw a sheet over the mirror and avoided the bathroom that night. But as he lay in bed, he heard something. A soft, rhythmic tapping. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the bathroom. Summoning his courage, he crept toward the door, heart pounding. Slowly, he lifted the sheet covering the mirror. His reflection was no longer in sync. It was standing completely still, its eyes locked onto his. Then it smiled. Leo screamed, stumbling back. But when he looked again, the reflection had returned to normal, mirroring his every move. Shaking, he grabbed his keys, ran out of the apartment, and spent the night at a friend's place. The next morning, he hired someone to remove the mirror. As two workers pried it off the wall, one of them gasped. There was a hollow space behind it, like a hidden crawl space. And inside, there were deep, claw-like scratches covering the wall. Leo moved out that same day. He never looked in a mirror the same way again.